On for NBC News. I want to bring in Tulsi Gabbard, Congresswoman Tulsi Gabbard. She represents the 2nd District in Hawaii. She joins me now from the state of Hawaii, and we looked to her Twitter account here a few moments ago. She tweeted, "Hawaii, this is a false alarm. There is no incoming missile to Hawaii. I have confirmed with officials there is no incoming missile." Congresswoman Gabbard, let me just get a sense from you about how this unfolded. How did you first hear of this? Did you get the alert yourself, and what did you do upon getting it?
Aloha. I'm actually here in Washington. It's a short weekend with votes last week and coming up on Monday, so I was not in Hawaii but was immediately notified through my cell phone. Someone sent me the alert that went out to all cell phones in Hawaii. I immediately started calling Hawaii state officials to figure out, because they are the ones, Hawaii Civil Defense is the one that puts out these alerts, to call and find out what was going on. This was just minutes after the alert went out. I was immediately told that the alert was sent out mistakenly. It was an inadvertent alert message, and that there was no ballistic missile heading to Hawaii. So I immediately got on Twitter, got on the phone, started getting the message out as quickly as possible to the people in Hawaii who literally were going through this thought process of, I've got 15 minutes to seek shelter from an incoming ballistic missile. What do I do? How do I protect my family? Where do I go? So this is the stark reality that Hawaii faces now of what a potential nuclear strike on Hawaii would be.
Some of those questions, and I wonder, just to interrupt you, if there are ready answers to those questions. As you say, there must have been many hundreds of thousands of people who were wondering just that, where they should go or what they should do. And we heard from our colleague just a moment ago that when it comes to military strategy, that's advanced. When it comes to what civilians are supposed to do if this were to happen, it hasn't advanced that much. Do Hawaiians know what they're supposed to do in a circumstance like this? How open-ended are those questions you just enumerated?
They're extremely open-ended. The people of Hawaii have been briefed that should they get an alert, such as the one that they got today, they've got 15 minutes to seek shelter, to protect themselves and their families. There are not nuclear bomb shelters in Hawaii, not very many of them, what to speak of any of them being within 15 minutes of someone's home or job or school. So this points to what the people of Hawaii went through, what my family and so many families in Hawaii just went through, is a true realization that they've got 15 minutes to find some form of shelter, or they're going to be dead, gone. So this is something that I hope everyone in America heeds to, because this is a threat that's not only facing Hawaii but this country. And if they had gone through what our families in Hawaii just went through, they would be angry like I am. We've known about this. I've been talking about this threat for years, and our leaders have failed us. Donald Trump is taking too long. He's not taking this threat seriously, and there's no time to waste. We've got to get rid of this nuclear threat from North Korea. We've got to achieve peace, not play politics, but achieve peace, because this is literally life and death that is at stake for the people of Hawaii and the people of this country.
Congressman, you mentioned you're in Washington this weekend. When you're back in Hawaii, how much is this a regular part of conversation now? We certainly remembered what happened in Guam after a recent missile test by North Korea. It seemed like this was becoming a more acute risk for folks who live there as the of these weapons being developed by North Korea became more and more apparent. Is this something people are talking about more and more when you go back to Hawaii?
This is something that people in Hawaii have been talking about for quite some time, even before the news, even before most of the people in the country have been talking about it, because Hawaii has fallen squarely within North Korea's intercontinental ballistic missile range for quite some time, before their missiles were proven to be able to reach the mainland United States. This was already a real threat that the people of Hawaii experienced. I've had kids in elementary school and middle school coming up to me and asking about this nuclear missile threat. What are they supposed to do? Where are they supposed to go? This is the reality the people of Hawaii have lived with for far too long, and this is something that needs to be addressed immediately.
You know, it strikes me, looking at how all of this played out, that there are two big issues here. One is the alert itself. The second is how you correct a false alert like this one. You took to Twitter to say that this was a false alert. I don't believe that we've seen a corrective alert sent in the same way the initial one was first sent. What's the plan for you going forward here to correct the way this happened? I suppose we could look at this charitably as a learning experience. What do you want to see changed here? How should this all have unfolded?
I'm not looking at this quite so charitably, understanding what the people of Hawaii have just been through. There was another message that was put out in the same way that the first one was, saying that it was a false alarm. But quite bluntly, it took far too long for that message to get out to the people of Hawaii, especially when they've been briefed by state officials that if they get an alert of an incoming missile, they have 15 minutes. The corrective message that went out from the state took much longer than 15 minutes to reach people. That was why I knew it was critical. As soon as I found out there was no real threat coming in, immediately every avenue possible to try to get the word out, because I knew what people were going through there.
The geographic gap here is huge, of course, between Hawaii and Washington. How do you begin to close that? In other words, you say that this is an acute worry for so many people you represent in Hawaii. How do you convey that to President Trump, to others in Washington, that they need to take this more seriously?
I've been conveying this message for quite some time. My hope is that today's event serves as a strong wake-up call for them, that this is something very real, that there's no time to just, talk more about it, or, say, oh, well, maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Oh, we don't know what their capabilities are. We do have a pretty good idea what their capabilities are, and that we are squarely within their crosshairs and the range of their missiles. So the time for all of this talk within Washington is done. The talk that needs to be happening is between Donald Trump and Kim Jong-un, the United States and North Korea, to de-escalate and to denuclearize, ultimately denuclearize and get rid of this nuclear threat. This is not a new norm that the people of Hawaii in this country should have to live with.
I know you're busy and you have to talk to family and constituents as well, but let me just ask you lastly how this is supposed to happen. In other words, you were able to get through fairly quickly, find out that this was a false alarm. What is somebody you represent supposed to do when something like this happens? How is this information supposed to be conveyed? How should this play out when in fact it does?
Well, I mean, these alerts are set up to go out when there is an actual threat coming towards Hawaii, and there are other, both through text message, there are audio alarms. They're supposed to send these messages through the news, and et cetera, et cetera. But we've got to get to the bottom of exactly what happened this morning, why this message was mistakenly sent out, who is responsible, why it took so long for the message to go out, and make sure that something like this never happens again.
And just to be clear here, you used the word mistakenly.